Welcome back to the City of Splendors. This is my dramatic intro. Welcome back to Waterdeep. We've not played in a little while, so I'll be honest, my note-taking is never the best. So if you guys can't remember, assume I can't either. But that's fine, because we're all here to muddle through it together. So, you guys, I think there was a tavern, and...
Yeah, we had a tavern, and
it was ran by skeletons. It was ran by skeletons.
Yes, definitely lots of skeletons in the necromancy.
No, that's the wrong one.
Wrong one.
Oh,
alright.
no.
Kobolds. This one's kobolds.
Yes. Kobolds, yes.
Yeah.
But they're missing.
They're missing. I like that that's the main thing now. It's like the kobolds
Yes.
missing.
Let's just forget the plot.
Our
Priority
sweet-
one.
The kobolds are missing.
Side quest, damn it.
You're going to need
It's
money.
important.
You're going to need money to ransom the kobolds back. No, you guys set yourselves up a tavern rewarded to you by Volo Vam Fomp for rescuing Floon Blagmar and Rainier Neverember, a pair of local nobility / possible male prostitute from the Xanafar's Guild. And you were rewarded with a tavern. Over the coming weeks, you built up the tavern, built up your money by doing jobs for the Lord's Alliance. Now, these jobs were done mostly to pay off for the fact that, although you did save... Rainier Neverember, you did
Unusual
die.
first name.
Most of you did die in the act. I think the only survivor was Brian, if memory serves.
Yep.
Everyone else died, but you were luckily resurrected. By...
No one got their brain replaced.
Yep, no one got their brain replaced. Right, Brynny?
I mean, I was dead. Brian's the only candidate remaining for possible brain transplant.
Totally not a sleeper agent.
But shut up. But you guys were resurrected
Hang on.
by...
Brian even sounds like brain.
You guys were resurrected by the Lady of Waterdeep, Lorana Silverhand, who resurrected you in order to... because of your hard works, because she had a relationship with both Rainier Neverember and Volo, and the understanding that you would pay them back, which you have been doing by doing multiple jobs for the Lord's Alliance, with kind of your handler being Jalaster Silvermane.
Silvermane?
Yes, Jalaster Silvermane, a ex-mercenary and now kind of agent of the Lord's Alliance, who is
We loved our silver.
nice fellow who's been particularly taken by Fluke, who has kind of gone from urchin to respected homeowner in quick succession, which has been confusing for her.
There's a bit too much Chessie getting into Fluke's character, I think.
But while this has been going on, you also did other jobs for the Zentarum, for the Force Grey, and it managed to build up your tavern and get it fully functioning, leading to a fine grand opening. During this time, you also investigated the Growlhun Villa, as there had been a fireball outside of your home, as someone had tried to bring something to you. You investigated the Growlhuns and found them implemented in some sort of plot, and that they had sent the thing you were looking that was away with a Nimblewright, a mechanical man. During your grand opening, you were able to track down the Nimblewright and destroy it, and although it did not have the item in question on it, which you discovered to be the Stone of Galore, a magical item that leads to the vault of Lord Neverember, where his massive embezzled fortune is currently being kept. You did get a clue that put you on the right trail to chasing after this great treasure. The grand opening went well enough. You had a bit of business rivalry from Emic Froon, but you accused him of sexually assaulting goblins, and he was carted away, and you're not sure what since then.
Yes.
Other than that, it was quite the success, where you met many nice figures, including your wonderful neighbours who have been hanging around you Avi and Emmerich and Fala. And you've kind of just settled in quite well into Waterdeep. Now, however, you are on the track of this great fortune of Neverember. Your trail took you first to to an alley where you believed that the contact you were looking for, Fenris, was. However, his shop had been ransacked, and what you were looking for was missing. Lady Silverhand made herself aware to you once more and asked you to head to a cellar complex ran by the Xanafar's Guild and take back this stone that had been stolen. However, due to Brynny's impressive investigating skills and stealth abilities, you were able to discover that this was not, in fact, the Silver Hand, the Open Lord of Waterdeep, but a mysterious, eye-patched, very sexy and fabulous drow, with constantly showing midriff according to all the fan art I have found of him.
Yep.
And that he had put you on the trace of this stone. So you went to the cellar complex. Fluke was ambushed by a significant number of fucking troglodytes. But you were able to fight them off and then convince the Drugar, who had been hanging around, that you were in fact their boss. And you sent them away after getting back the stone from them after some negotiations without conflict. You headed to the theatre to hand over the stone to an agent of the supposed Silver Hand. However, he quickly discerned that the stone was a false stone, a counterfeit. And then he sent you to a courthouse to interview Fenris, who had been arrested for his prior transgressions as a highwayman. You went to the courthouse and were struck by terrible paralysis of decision-making. Unsure of how to proceed in any way, shape, or form, due to all the players, I think, being somewhat knackered that night. The session eventually ended with you attempting to just make your way inside, and although you did an okay job getting in, you weren't really able to find a good excuse once kind of shown to the guards. And general confusion abated until you just decided to run off and just ask for an interview with the Silver Hand to see if you could talk about getting a meeting with Fenris. You returned home. You returned home, and when you got there, you discovered that your beloved kobolds who helped you run the tavern were missing, and you're not sure what happened to them. Am I missing anything out in my rather long-winded explanation?
No.
Sounds pretty good.
There was also like a minotaur and a giant shark with an eye patch. But
And Sean
that's all
Connery.
side character stuff. And Sean Connery. Let me bring it up real quick, just in
No! Why did I mention?
And an owlbear.
And an owlbear,
It's
which
great.
ate me.
I love Fluke. It's the best. Okay. So, your rest goes off without a hitch. You have a long snooze, and wake up the next day feeling refreshed. Although the house, it's oddly quiet, lacking the normal hustle and bustle that comes with a house filled with the pitter-patter of little cobalt feet.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys all wake up. You probably who gets up in the morning and cooks everyone brekkie?
Not me.
I'll make an attempt and eat half of my attempt.
Okay.
Actually, when we get in with, as we're about to go to sleep, Brian's going to just kind of sit in his room. He's just going to talk out. Say, Ghost buddy. Don't suppose you know if anything happened here with our kobold friends? You knock once for yes.
So you sit in your room, waiting for a knock from the ghost. Meanwhile, downstairs, Fluke, while you're making breakfast, the salt shaker salts your food for you.
Awesome.
We could really help you right now.
I thought they had stolen
Such
our
good
ghost
friends.
too.
Please don't leave me like this.
The ghost downstairs remembers that he is not omnipotent or present, and continues to help Fluke with the breakfast.
Harold looks into Brian's room in his. Well, I forgot what they called it. The small robe. You're right there, Brian. Kimono. You're right there, Brian. You chat to yourself again, man.
Oh, no, just saying if a ghosty friend knew anything, just wasn't sitting there talking to himself. No self-respecting person.
Oh, are you friends now? Oh, that's nice. Well done, you. Oh,
he's all right. I've met worse blokes in my day.
Brian, as you're talking, a freshly made kipper floats into your room.
Ooh.
Sits on the corner of the bed.
Oh, fair dinkum, mate. Thank you.
I should have changed that to barbecued prawns.
Nice.
Yeah. You get the sense that the ghost has arrived, bringing you a little bit of breakfast.
Yeah. So, ghosty buddy, don't suppose you have any idea what happened to our kobolds? They get taken, they leave. Knock once if they went themselves. Oh. Well, that doesn't bode too well. I don't suppose you saw who it was. Wasn't that big kobold fella before, was it? Alright, well, that ain't good. Alright, don't worry, we'll get our friends back. You alright looking after the place while we're gone? I don't know what that means, I'll take it as a yes. Alright, Liv, be good.
This is Harold knocking the door randomly.
Right, so you guys all gather around for breakfast. What's your plan for the start of the day? Are you heading straight out somewhere? Are you going to wait around for Jalaster to get back to you?
I would expect it. Jalaster said he reckoned it would be afternoon before anything happened, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did have to go quite late to talk to them and try and get the meeting.
Yeah.
So unless he works some minor miracles, he probably won't be very early on. It might actually be one of the last meetings of the day.
And I couldn't get. If I wanted to try and disguise myself as what were we thinking? Private detective, wasn't it? Trying to investigate something before this guy's hung and all the information's gone. I don't think we could get a permit until sometime later on today, wasn't it?
He's not being hung.
No, I thought he's been executed today.
No, there's nothing like that. The thing is, you were made aware that there are other people chasing this exact same information.
All right then.
So you're in something of a race.
I thought there was more drama. Damn it.
All right, now he's being hung at midday.
I think that's just how Harold sees it. It's got the extra drama.
As you look out the window, you see your the contact being dragged behind a horse. Fucking go.
So, I mean, we could try that. I think we needed to try and forge some documentation to give us a permit to get in there and have a chat to him.
I seem to remember we did that last time. I think we did that last night.
Yeah, but you did that, I didn't, so...
We talked about doing it, I don't think we actually...
There was a lot of talking about doing things. I remember last time.
I think that's probably one of the easiest ways to get in there is half truths and...
No, sorry, I'm wrong, Gareth.
We
made the document is what you meant.
Yeah.
We didn't actually try it out.
Yeah, because we forged it, and then we didn't have enough time to go there to do it. Because that's what you spent last night doing.
The forgery? Is there a number for it that you have?
You wanted us to roll at the time.
Yeah, so that we that's how I normally do it, so that you don't know if it's going to succeed or not before going in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Alright, so we want to do... What was it? Me and Errol go in there, a pair of private detectives go in there trying to ask this bloke if he has any information about something that was lost. I can't remember. Was it I think we said Lady Greyhound, because that's also true. It was stolen from Lady Greyhound, and we've been hired to find it for her. and we were going to ask him to see if he would give any information. And maybe we could give him some vague promises that if he gives us a hand, his jail time might be shortened a bit or something like that.
Alright,
Might
sure working that angle. What do we do about this meeting we've been setting up?
Well, that's going to be later in the day, isn't it?
So we try this first, and if that fails, go through with it. Well, go through with the meeting. Probably gonna have to talk to her either way. Better come up with some good excuse in case we don't need to get into jail.
Yeah. Were we waiting in a particular place for Gillester to get in touch, or is he just gonna...
He'll just get in touch with you. He'll probably come to the bar, and if he doesn't find you there, he'll probably just go to the yawning portal. He doesn't have a magical way of getting in touch with you that you know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The other thing is you do have other contacts in the city. You could always check in on while you're waiting. You could talk to Force Grey, and Vajra there. You could also they weren't able to help you get in, but you could maybe see if the Zentarum have work for you, if you just wanted to fill time. Or you do have some stuff to return to the Temple of Gond to get a reward.
Oh yeah, I've got that to do as well.
Yeah. I mean, did you guys want backup, or would it be better if some of us went and did other things while you guys are talking your way in?
I mean, if shit did hit the fan, it'd be nice if you were outside, I suppose.
Well, to mate.
Well, shit's not likely to hit the fan in a police station.
Oh, yeah, well, I suppose if we get nicked in there, they're not going to take us outside, are they?
If it goes wrong, there's nothing anyone can do.
Can we consult the legal code to see what the punishment is for impersonating a detective?
I know they take impersonation fairly seriously. Lord.
Would it be official? Are you going as a city detective or a private eye?
They're thinking private.
Be as a private eye.
That's not as bad then.
I mean, it'd probably be up to whatever magistrate who got to the case. You reckon at the very least you'd be looking at a fine and flogging for pretending to be something to an official is still quite risky.
There's forgery of an official document.
That sounds about forgery of an official document. What's the punishment for that, my good man?
Flogging and exile for 10 summers.
Fuck you. Yeah, they take this shit seriously.
Let's not get caught.
Okay.
I'm suddenly much less happy about this idea.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to play it safe, or do you want to go? Hope you can get some luck out of Jarlester. I mean, the longer we leave it, the more likely someone else might be able to get to him before we do.
That's true, but we also do have a lot of other things to be doing.
Yeah.
So while you're kind of chatting away, you hear a knock. Actually, I think first you hear somebody moving around in the pantry area. You just hear footsteps, little tiny footsteps pitter-pattering around.
Is it a kobold? I'll throw open the door.
In the pantry area, so the
pantry.
Oh, who's there?
Oh, hi, gents. It's
Oh, hello. Oh, it's our employee. I forgot about him.
hello. I came to open up. You are still working, right?
Yeah.
Did you murder our kobolds?
I would never murder Alfred and his friends. We played Bunions and Flagons together.
Do you know what happened to him?
No, I mean, I wasn't working yesterday.
I forgot
You never
to say.
really sent out a rota, so I'm not even sure if I'm on today.
I'm going to insight check him for suspiciousness.
You want to see your kobold, but
Yes.
he has the eyes of a deadly serial killer.
Keep my eyes on you.
Look at that scary-looking bastard.
I forgot to say, I was talking to Lift there earlier. He said that Jort's fellow was about. Seems he might have taken Alfred and the others with him.
You fucking meaty boy.
Well,
Yeah.
are you guys going out again today?
Probably, yeah.
Well, I can't run the whole place by myself. I could hire some other staff, or like, I've got some mates who wouldn't mind a job if you give us some gold to pay them.
I could possibly stay while you go to the station. I've been there. They've all seen me, and I'm very obvious being a big cat.
It's worth saying,
person.
remember the town's pretty big, so like, if you stay behind, you're hours away from the party and the adventure that is taking place.
Just come along, Brynny.
Brynny, you do your little rooftopy thing. You'll be fine.
How much reckon you need for the day, Dasher? Get these mates of yours in.
10 gold. I can get like
Alright.
3 guys for that. Help me run the place.
Well, that works for me. I toss him 10 gold.
Sure.
Bud. He takes
Oh,
10
Todd.
gold. It's like, right, well, we don't open for a bit, so I'll go get my mates. And he like scampers out the back.
We're never going to see him again, are we?
Yes!
It's all a long con.
I accidentally backed
He's
out.
definitely got our kobolds.
I'll
He goes out and pulls a mask off, and it's jorts.
I knew if I robbed the help, they'd pay me to hire more.
Plan worked. Another richest kobold in the land. 10 gold pieces.
And a shiny button.
Yeah. So while you're kind of getting ready to leave, a little while later, you hear there is a knock at the front door now. Like knock, knock, knock.
Hello?
Hello. Can I come in, please?
Oh!
Oh, certainly.
Thank you.
These assholes again.
Oh, Jalesta!
Hello, Fluke. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. You noticed Jalaster, he's wearing like the same shirt you saw him in last night, and he's kind of got bags under his eyes. He looks a little disheveled.
I bring in some breakfast.
Thank you. Do you
Coffee?
Yes, please. Some.
Yeah, I'll find some. I'll make it a bit Irish as well.
Alright, so, I spent a bit of time at the palace, and I was able to get you a meeting. Now, originally they wanted it they weren't exactly happy about me showing up so late and wanting a meeting the next day. But luckily, I knew one of the gentlemen who had an evening meeting, and I had a chat with him, and he's going to have his meeting on another day, and you can all take his meeting slot today. Now, the meeting isn't, I'm afraid, until, well, it's around about 6 at night. I'm sorry, it's the best I could do. Normally it's weeks in advance planning for these things.
No, you did well, thank you.
There you go,
That's
buddy.
okay.
Good. While I've got you here, while I was at the palace asking around, I did have to. Well, I had to promise a favor to the gentleman. He wanted me to look into something for the Lord's Alliance, and well, I was hoping you could have a look into it for me.
No,
Well, what is it?
Well, as I understand it, the Zents are courting a red wizard of Fey named Eslun Bizant, or some strange Feyan name. I've got it written down here.
They're assholes, aren't they?
Yes, in my general experience, they are. Eslun
too many
Bizant
consonants.
is trying to add his gang of thugs to their ranks. All we know about him is he fled his homeland a few years back and is too smart to get caught doing anything illegal. He and his gang of bullies have been prowling the dock wards. I'd like you to scuttle the deal and do it fast. We don't want the Zentarum having this this gentleman and his thugs in amongst their numbers. He's a dangerous man, smart and a mage. Not the kind of person we want.
Howdy.
Well, he's a mage, so always somewhat dangerous.
Is it the pew kind? Boom kind.
Well, he has a formal education, I believe, of Fey, so I imagine he has some degree of power, possibly to the level of Boom. to be expected.
Potential boom. Gotcha.
Like I said, he's not done anything particularly illegal in the city, so we don't know exactly how much oomph he has. We don't require him dead, per se. We don't want him and the Zentarum joining up. Once he's part of their numbers, he'll be even harder to, get pinned down for any crimes. He'll have their backing, and we don't need the Zentarum having a powerful mage amongst them. They don't do the Lord's Alliance any good. So I'd be greatly appreciative if you could look into this gentleman and make sure that him and the Zentarum don't join up.
This was definitely Zentarum, not Xanathar.
Yes, definitely Zentarum. I don't think an ex-wizard of Fae would have much time for the Xanathar and their more chaotic way of organization.
No,
speaking of the Xanathar, I don't suppose you know where they might keep, say, a small group of kobolds that they've abducted?
Well, the Xanathar tend to... I don't know a lot about them. I don't want to say mysterious. It doesn't gives them too much credit. They're just kind of beneath notice most of the time. They work in the sewers, come out and do robberies and extortion. But it's understood by most people that their main base is in Skullport, which is actually an undermountain itself. So
that'd be tricky to get to. How long would it take you if you were for someone to get there?
It depends. If you went via Undermountain, you'd have to go through the yawning portal itself and down, which I personally don't have the module for that. But I understand that smugglers and the like have their own. Yes, I know, Tom. Smugglers. That's more than a little detour. I've seen the first level of that dungeon. I have. Smugglers and the like have their own secret ways down there, so you can make your way down there without going via the hard way. But it's a dangerous place to visit, the Xanathar's lair.
True for that. Oh, I don't suppose you've heard of a strange koboldy fella.
Strange
fairly big one.
Fella?
Goes by Jorts.
Real angry and short.
I've not had...
Gullible.
I more look into the Zentarum problem than the Xanathars, to be honest, and the few situations I understand of the Xanathar have more been direct violence than, communication and looking into.
Oh, I get you.
So I don't really know their number very well. Sorry about
that. No worries, mate. We'll sort it out.
If you wanted to learn more about the Xanathar, you could always... He thinks a bit. Well, you could talk to Vajra. She's quite well... She has a good level of knowledge, and I understand you've a relationship somewhat with her. You could also ask the Silverhand when you speak with her. She's aware of almost everything that takes place in this city on some level.
Oh, that'd be a good idea, actually.
Alright.
We'll add it on. Thank you.
I am going to eat this breakfast and probably take a wee sleep in one of your seats and then head back to the palace.
Oh, I got a tub upstairs if you want to use that. Smell of the ocean. Ain't fresher. Although, usually I get the kobolds to run down with some buckets every morning, so it's a bit stinky today.
I'll be fine, thank you. You all, I'm sure, have your own thing to do. Maybe look into this wizard fellow, or whatever.
Hey,
whatever
Brian, have you considered converting it to a jacuzzi?
Bubbles kind of do weird things with Constitution. Ever tried to sleep in a jacuzzi? Very tickly.
Yes.
I mean, you don't try to sleep; you just fall asleep in one.
I just sleep in her anyway.
I've done a great deal of things in jacuzzis, but never sleeping. Sorry, I'm tired.
Side argue. Alright, well, seems we got a few things to get to today.
Yeah, and Dilaster just kind of sits and he eats his meal, and he knows you guys. He kind of gives you a bit of space so you guys can discuss your plans without being directly in front of him.
Ooh,
Right.
a bit out of earshot and just kind of discuss things.
So we've got kobolds, Red Wizard of Thay, getting our money off the Hansi of Enlightenedness peoples, and then we got to try and chat to someone in the Nick, and now we've got this meeting later on today. Bless you, Fluke.
Thank you.
Right, so
That's 5 things,
yeah.
I think.
Well, picking up the reward shouldn't take long.
Yeah.
I won't be too much.
We could do that on the way to something. Well, I was thinking
the
if we...
map so you can have an idea of like the town layout and
Okay.
stuff.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
And where did he say the meeting was happening between the Thay boys?
Doc.
Doc
They didn't
was.
say there was a meeting. It's more like they're currently in the process of like, talking about, courting and joining, and they don't want that happening. It's not like there's a meeting to bust up. They just don't want them joining the settlement.
Have
he
they
did-
seen him about?
Yes, if you look at the bottom
Yeah.
there, it says he and his gang of bullies prowl the dock ward.
Alright, cool.
So,
Alright.
so at the moment, you guys are way up here in Trollskull Alley. Oh, am I not? Do the thing. Do the ping. There we go. In Trollskull Alley, home sweet home. So your dock ward is way down north. The House of Inspired Hands is along here. That is the Temple of Gond.
That name gets me every time.
Once again, not a brothel.
Or a
Black
massage
Tower
parlour.
is down here. And then you've got the
Also,
Also
not
justice.
brothel.
castle is down here, which is where your meeting will be later on. Castle Waterdeep. And then, the dock ward is way down here.
Alright, so looks like the smartest thing to do is head over to Inspired Hands, then
Yeah, make our way
Yeah.
down the city. And
we want to go to the castle
To-
early enough.
Bloke is at the Halls of Justice, I imagine.
No, he's not. He's actually just in... That's like a quite an important place to Halls of Justice. He's just... Oh, wait, no, that's Blackstaff Tower there. I did say that.
Yeah.
He's just in some... I think it's down, like, in the castle ward. I'll have to double check, but he's just in, like, a police precinct. So
Okay.
he's not in, like, the main headquarters. He's just in a for a particular district. He's in their place. He's in
Well, I
jail,
was-
not prison.
In around
I
the
was-
castle ward.
Thinking that blah, 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 blah. we could we could go get the reward for this thing, and then me and Errol could go try and see if you have a chat to the bloke in the castle ward, and if that goes tits up, you go talk to the lady in the castle and ask her to break us out. But you can tell her that we were on mission doing it because we didn't want to be waylay anymore.
Yeah. The precinct in question is in the castle ward. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it's actually quite near. It's in the same general area of town that you're in.
Gotcha. Yeah, so then you two and Prime back in, and then we can use the meeting to bust you out if needed. If not, we can ask her about what happened to our kobold friends.
And what we were
And then there's some
having-
knocks sometime during the day.
yeah.
I don't know if that's like a do it today type thing though,
It
so that's
wasn't
not as...
do it today. He just wants it done before they have a
Soon.
chance to
Yeah.
like really join the Sense.
So,
And
so if we got time.
yeah,
Yeah. Alright, so those are the main three
definitely,
things
like,
and then one
do it
optional thing.
soon, sort of thing.
Was there a fifth thing as well? Errol? And you said there was another thing we had to do as well, Errol? You said 5.
Cobalt,
Yeah,
Red
Cobalt,
Wizard,
Red Wizard,
Inspired Hand. I don't know
Inspired
what meeting
Hand,
is.
meeting. Castle
Oh,
ward.
meeting, yeah. Oh, and I guess the other thing is possibly to visit the Blackstaff because you've not done that in a while. She might have.
Yeah, that was 5 things.
yeah.
That was the 5 things. Yeah.
Alright, so Inspired Hands first.
Yeah. Let's go.
Alright, let's go.
Okay.
Are you going to get a carriage there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save time
Day
today.
to be quick, yeah. That's fine. Someone just dropped like probably 5 silver for a carriage.
Will do.
We'll call
Ah.
I get it.
Fine.
Alright, so you guys head out, you clickety-clackety into your carriage, and you make your way across town, through the beautiful North Ward and its noble estates, all the way across to the Sea Ward, another very wealthy part of the town, overlooking the water. And this map doesn't do a great job of showing. Remember, like, all of Waterdeep kind of is on, like, hills. So you kind of go uphill and you got this big cliff overlooking the mud flaps. Mud flats, not mud flaps. That sounds gross. And you make it to the House of Inspired Hands. Now, which is a big, somewhere between a temple and a very active workshop with steam coming out of it. People wandering around working on things. And yeah, it seems quite active. Even at this kind of early time, there are people clearly waking up and checking on experiments. I say early, you guys slept in a little bit and had your meeting with Jalaster, so it's probably 10:30. So normally when Killian goes to bed. Yeah, and you can see the House of Inspired Hands before you, busy and active as always.
If we look up, can we see the window where the robot, can't remember the word.
The nimble
right. The nice nimble right.
Nim the nimble right. Yes, you can see his window, although it is there's a big heavy pair of shutters closed over it.
And there's no birds flying at me.
Nope, no birds are randomly flying at your face.
Perfect.
Can you remember who his caretaker was?
Sorry?
Dragonborn?
Yes, it was a Dragonborn lady by the name of...
Valletta.
Valletta, yes, very good. Valletta, she was a bronze dragonborn.
Well, guess if we can find her about.
Alright, so you head inside. You go by the strange sort of inventions and things on the head, such as the waking helmet, metal helmet with articulate metal arms and hands that gently slap the wearer's face when they fall asleep. And many other sort of strange things. A 4-foot-tall working model of a clock tower rings at the top of every hour. It's made of wood, bronze, glass, and the bell's delicate hands. So yeah, lots of these kind of interesting little things as you come inside. You don't see Valletta as soon as you come in. There's a different priest behind the... I guess there's not like a reception desk. There's just they're just priests wandering around, going about their sort of general duties. Eureka!
Well, there goes another old fart. Let's start wearing their togas.
Hi. Hello.
Oh, yes, hello.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, a young dwarf woman sort of stops and like blinks and looks up at you. She's got the big glasses on.
So, is Valletta about?
Oh, yes, she's I think she's working on her piece in... and she points over at like a nearby room. It looks like a sort of workshop space.
Can we go in? We've got some business with her.
Yes, that should be fine. Head
on.
And she sort of leaves you to it. And when you go inside, you see Valletta, this dragonborn woman, kind of, tall dragonborn frame. And she lifts up out of a forge some sort of like glowing apparatus, and then like breathes lightning onto it. There's a crackle across it, and she blinks and looks at it and goes, good, it's holding the charge. Very good. And she puts it down and blinks.
Does that happen when you snore?
Unfortunately, sometimes. Depends if I have a cold. Oh, hello again. Fluke. Yes, Brian.
Yes.
Harold, Earl, and Brinny. It's good to see you
Hello.
again.
She never met me.
My spies have informed me. And, you must be... And she looks at you and like, I don't know you, sorry. Hold out a hand to Brinny.
Nice to meet you. I shake hands with claws.
All right.
This is Brinny.
Her claws shake your claws back, and they kind of clitter together a little bit. Flatterer might have been a better word for that. Did you manage to deal with the problem that I had, and did you find the rogue construct?
Yep. We took it apart, we destroyed it,
Do you have
we're really badass.
Any pieces of it?
We've got its head.
That would be ideal. Might I see it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, do you need to keep it though? Because it's really cool.
I would need to keep it, yes. It is a bit of rare technology, and I'd be concerned of it getting into the wrong hands. You can keep the faceplate if that's part of what is the main thing.
Yeah,
very
okay.
cool faceplate. Okay, and she takes the thing. Yes, definitely a nimble, right? And I would say definitely created by Nim. I can see his handiwork on this. 1 second. Pulls the faceplate off and holds that out to you, Fluke.
Awesome. Put it on my face.
Here you go. Just take this. There you are. Enjoy. There we go.
Oh, that's pretty weird.
Roar.
Don't like that at all.
Yes, we talked about a reward, didn't we? Yes. 500 gold, I believe, was the talked about reward for killing this dangerous creature.
That works.
We do have some non-magical devices that you could. Some creations of ours that we're not using at the moment that you could maybe be interested in.
Are any of them useful?
I believe so. Yes, very useful.
Ooh.
So,
All right then.
give me a second to gather them. I'll be right back. And she sort of wanders off for a second, her tail swishing as she goes. And
Swish, swish.
Comes back. She returns with a pair of kind of platform shoes, big platform shoes, a heavy-looking backpack, a metal cube, and a pipe, a very nice but metal smoking pipe. And it's so. These these shoes here, these are adjustable stilts. They can increase a humanoid's height wearing them by 2 to 5 feet. And when fully collapsed, they are about a foot long. So they're useful for getting to high up places. This backpack here, it's a backpack parachute. If you fall from a great height, you can deploy this parachute, and it will allow you to fall slowly and safely to ground without taking damage. This metal cube here, it's about a 6-inch on its side cube. You can wind it up, and then activate. It activates for 8 hours. While activated, the box will bark whenever it detects vibrations within 15 feet of it. Yes, very useful, that one. And this pipe here, there's a switch made of flint is built into the bowl right here. I made this one myself, actually. With a few flicks of the switch, it will light itself.
Ooh, I like that.
So, yes, and you can take one of these.
Oh.
Just one? Oh, that's not fair. They're all so good.
I mean, yes, they are. That's why I can only really spare one.
How hard do you to fall to make the parachute thing work?
Let me see. I would give yourself 60 feet. You have to fall about 60 feet for it to have the chance to really unravel and help you out.
Okay.
And you'll need about 10 feet
guys,
of clearance.
Just spend the rest of the time. We know the black stuff. We can just be like, can we go to the top?
Just start doing some base jumping.
I can't decide, guys. I want the pipe, but it's like the most boringest one.
I think the stilts in the box would be quite handy.
Stilts are funny.
I just
If you're trying to disguise yourself.
Even fully collapsed, the stilts are still a foot tall. So they are big honking platform shoes.
Okay.
Hey, I think those stilts could make Brian really, really intimidating.
They would
Oh, you're trying to say something about my height for that, are you?
No, I would say more intimidating.
Do you want to come down here and say that to me? Go on. Go on.
That's fine, Brian. That's fine.
That's what I thought.
Gotta remember, you live in a world where almost anything can knock you out in one hit.
I kind of want the backpack.
So, here you go. Up to you. I'm good for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of fun ones there. The barking box, it could be quite useful, I think, for Brinny. But in the backpack, it's kind of awesome. Admittedly, with the backpack, you'd have to have that on instead of your normal backpack. So you wouldn't be able to carry your gear around as easily.
Oh, so what's in your bag? Oh, parachute. Cloth.
Although, at least in this game, you actually have a home to leave your stuff at. So you don't have to worry so much about bedrolls.
The only problem with the parachute is we'd only have one.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the box.
The barking box, I theoretically agree.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright.
The barking box, then?
Yeah.
Alright, very good. Here you go. And she hands you this this metal cube. So crank it up, and yes, you can... Well, active for an hour, and while active, the box barks whenever it detects vibrations within 15 foot of it, as long as the box and the source of the vibrations are in contact with the same ground or substance. A switch on the side of the box sets the device to emanate either a small dog's bark or a large dog's bark. So this is Chihuahua, this is Mastiff. Little pictures to make it more clear. Who am I giving this to? And she looks at all of you. Just so I know whose inventory it goes into.
I'll take it.
Alright, hands it to Earl. There you go. And 500 gold pieces. She brings up a fairly hefty bag of gold.
Nice.
I wish I'd gone and got platinum now.
That'll be fine. Well, split it out to help with the carrying.
Yeah, I mean, there are 5 of you, so do you just want to take 100 each?
Yep, that works.
Yeah, it works.
Alright, so everyone add 100 to their character sheet. She
Alright.
out. Alright, very well. Is there anything else? Or
how's Nim?
Nim, can you remind me a little bit? Because I know there was talks about Nim at the end. I can't remember how well you...
I think I insisted as part of our deal that she gets him a pet bird.
That was...
Because he was lonely.
Okay. Nim is doing... he's doing alright. He's been a little reclusive since the incident. But we have been looking for a pet bird for him. We got him a little sparrow, but what I really want, and I haven't been able to find one, is I'd love to get him a parrot. Someone to talk to. I know he can't talk, but I think it'd be nice for him to hear a voice, but I've not been able to find any. I don't get out of the House of Inspired Hands very often.
Well, you know what? If I see a parrot, I'll bring one over.
Oh, now a few guys who know how to source parrots. Don't worry, I got this.
Go see Bilgy, Salty, Timmy, Billy, Bob.
That's a side quest to look forward to.
There's like a whole parrot store down in the dock somewhere. Some people walk out the back alley, open out their jackets, just got like a dozen parrots.
All panning for the fords.
Real quick side tangent. Has anyone been watching The Dragon Prince on Netflix?
Yes.
Oh, so
No,
good.
but I've heard good things.
Love it.
Good. Has anyone gotten to the parrot in that? The incredibly it's a bit of a spoiler, but there is a character who is a pirate with 2 eye patches.
Oh,
He
yeah.
entirely navigates by his parrot like assistance. And
What is this? Is it?
It's a show. It's very much in the vein of like Avatar: The Last Airbender in like
about the same
tone and
people.
quality.
We needed a new show. Let's watch that.
Yes.
It's very easy
Fucking
to watch, and
brilliant.
it's a good couple show. Me and Jess
And
watch it
the
together.
fantasy magic in it is so fucking good.
Ooh.
There's
really
also
awesome.
a little bit of like you'll get this the more you watch it, but there's he's not a baddie, but there's the baddie's son, who's like a childhood friend of the main character.
Antagonist.
Kind of antagonistic, yeah, but I quite like him. He is 100% every fighter in every D&D campaign I've ever watched. He will try just once to negotiate or like think of a clever plan, and then he's just like, I just want to hit it. He's always just like, I don't know, I just want to hit it. He's great.
Yeah.
He is a D&D fighter.
And my god, the comedy, especially in the second season.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I went up to Kev's and we watched it with him and his girlfriend, and oh my god, we was like, it was fucking hilarious. We're in stitches every episode.
Amazing.
Oh, good.
Definitely give it a go.
Is it an anime where stuff actually happens though?
Oh yeah, stuff happens.
Yeah.
Plot goes
Oh, that's cool.
plot's
Yeah.
really fast.
Have you watched Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I did watch it a bit when I was young. I really enjoyed it, but it's something I never like got back into.
You know what? It's good to go and
It's
watch
fun.
as an adult because you don't need to watch Avatar to watch it. Is The Legend of Korra, because it was
I've
towards teenagers as
Something
opposed to
I've
younger
meant to go
kids, so
watch.
it's quite easy to watch when you're an adult. This
this
episode
is-
of Waterdeep Dragon Heist is sponsored by the Dragon Prince on Netflix.
Go watch that shit.
Go watch this shit.
Digressing
Dragon
down.
Prince, if for some reason one of your people is watching this, good job and send me money. Right, where was
They're
I?
not.
Alright, they're not. No one is.
No.
Alright, so you guys head out of the House of Inspired Hands
Yep.
and you go home and watch some
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah, crying.
We'll find the person in the House of Inspired Hands who invented Netflix and the television.
Eureka! I've invented a system where we send books to people's houses and they return them to us, and then we send them more books. It'll put Bookbuster out of business.
I will constantly cast a sending spell over and over. Some kind of stream of casting.
Sending and minor illusion constantly together form this picture of sound and noise.
Alright. That means you've got you have to have a 20th level mage who has sending as his like easy spell. I think you have to have a mage who just is within 120 feet of your house, who is pointing at your house and using the message spell.
There's gotta be some like mages out there who literally set up a movie theater with illusions.
Possibly. Anyway,
That'd be
you guys, where are you guys heading to next?
We're close to Blackstaff's Tower, actually.
Do you
Fairly
wanna,
close.
yeah, should we pop in there? Oh, I wish you had the parachute.
Yeah.
Alright.
That thing wasn't going to work, was it? Splat.
So
That
we're
would
going
be
black.
so mean. It doesn't work unless the drop is more than 60 feet. So enough to probably kill you. And I'm just like, it doesn't work. It just, there's a little note here. It doesn't work.
We can maybe get off that
Say-
mountain if we ever go up there again.
Oh god.
Oh, that mountain.
Alright.
That was a bad mountain.
It nearly killed Fluke. It was pretty bad.
It really is.
It doesn't work. You take 58 damage. Alright. You guys make your
That's pretty
way-
low.
Yeah, it is pretty low. It still kills Earl 4 times over.
Oh, yes.
Most things do. Alright, you guys make your way to Blackstaff Tower. Do you take another carriage?
Yep.
Cool. Someone mark off free silver.
I will do it this time.
Whoa.
Damn it.
I've got the taxi. I've got the Uber.
Mine.
Okay, so you guys make your way towards Blackstaff Tower. Doesn't take very long. It's probably about noon by the time you get there, because that meeting didn't take a long time. And you arrive at Blackstaff Tower. Because it's kind of lunchtime, you can see a lot of the kind of students of Blackstaff Tower are actually in the kind of area around Blackstaff Tower, getting meals and the like. You get the kind of young people who maybe they can probably eat in Blackstaff Tower, but have chosen to take the chance to go out and grab some food outside of the kind of studying environment. So there's a couple of wizards kind of just wandering around, these young people in robes. But Blackstaff Tower itself is as you kind of remember it. There's somebody on the door, but they recognize you all now as you approach, and they just kind of nod you in.
Right, going in.
Okay.
Let's pick a door.
Oh god, I don't enjoy this bit.
All right, which
So
door?
just
Which door do you
go in the front.
The creepiest looking door.
Do you want me to stay here and kind of keep a lookout? You know, just in
So if
case someone comes behind us.
for the creepiest looking door. I mean, I guess the creepiest looking door is like there's just like a little like side door when you first come in that's kind of like not very well maintained and
It's like
kind of
an old floor cellar door, just like
This
the
one!
side of it.
right. Flea runs over,
covered in
grabs
chains.
the door, throws it open. Inside, you see two men sitting like on stools with
Disgusting.
eating sandwiches. Like they both blink and look up at you.
Hi, can I have some of your sandwich? I've got sweets. I'll trade you.
No, this is my lunch.
Oh.
Do you need something clean? To somebody drop something or something? Like, we can get to it in like 20 minutes. This is our break. Looking around.
This is a very disappointing door.
Looking around, you realize this is probably like the groundskeeper or janitor's closet. Like their little space. There's like tools on the walls. There's like a calendar in the back with like a sexy half elf across a wagon.
Nice picture.
No.
It's alright. I think I got the wrong door.
All right, you.
Enjoy your sandwich. It looks delicious.
Thanks, my wife made it for me.
Lovely.
Oh, the sandwich. Okay. Not the poster.
Yeah, definitely the sandwich.
All right, you close the door. It occurs to you with your high insight that perhaps the Blackstaff remembered to take the magic doorknob out before she took lunch. We see you 10 minutes of like having to go up actual stairs to get to where the Blackstaff is. A little
Ew.
sweaty, a little out of breath. And you arrive, and when you get to this door, you've been pointed like, all right, the Blackstaff takes her lunch up here normally. You get to this door, and when you arrive there, sitting outside the door on a little like fold-out chair, like a little like fold-out wooden stool, is a small like kind of frog-looking creature with pointy bat ears and like long clawed hands. It just sits there, and it looks up at you and goes, meh.
Yeah.
You just come around the door and sit there. Meh. Meh.
Brian, can you understand it?
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
It's a wish for my idea.
It nods its head like. Meh. He had like a little notepad he was reaching for, but then Brian says that, and he's like. Meh. Just
Alright, fella. Yeah, fair enough.
picks up its wee notepad and begins to play noughts and crosses with itself.
Who's winning? Ah, well done, you.
And maybe a little longer goes by. You kind of just sit. This creature just sits there. Every now and then kind of looks up at you, checks you're not doing anything you're not supposed to be doing, and then like looks back at his notepad. And after a short while, the door opens, and Vajra The Vajra wanders out. You can see she has that look of someone who just finished their lunch break and is like psyching themselves up to return to, work. So she's like, okay. And she like steps out and blinks when she sees you all. It's like, oh, sorry, have you been waiting long?
Oh, not too long.
Oh, I was just having a chat with your little friend here.
Ah, yes. Little meh. She reaches down, like, scratches the creature with him. He's my homunculus. He just makes sure no one barges in when I'm trying to have my lunch. Alright, off you go.
Friendly.
She, like, gives him a wee push, and he, like, jumps down and, like, scutters off somewhere.
Huh.
Anyway, how can I help you, or are you just visiting?
It's not quite us that needs for help, actually. Can you remember when you visited our tavern?
Yes. I had a good night. I drank some beer, and I got to avoid students for a good evening. Rare for me.
Always good.
Well, I don't think they were on the job at the time, but quite a few of our workforce are kobolds there.
Oh yeah, the little lizard fellows. They were adorable.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Keep
did
it up,
meet some,
Jimmy.
excellent.
Well, they were helping out, serving. Well, at the beginning of the night, and then they kind of disappeared. I assume they were doing something in the back.
Yeah. Well, we've
Funny
had a
you
bit of
should
problem.
mention.
They seem to have disappeared, and
Oh,
we're hoping that you might be able to help us track down the person we think might have taken them.
Are you sure they haven't just ran off? They are kobolds. They tend to be flighty.
Well, we had a word with
I mean, we were like good carers. I don't know why they would run away. Why did you say that?
we got a bit of a ghosty friend who looks over the place. Said he saw him being taken away by another kobold fella we had a bit of a run-in with before.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry to hear
Sound
about
fast.
I suppose you've heard of
force issues.
I suppose you've heard of
even
a
if
fellow
they are
named John.
kobolds, you will be required to pay them by law of Waterdeep.
We know.
We do.
Good.
Yeah.
We've had problems with unpaid kobold labor in the past. It's not appreciated in the city anymore.
Oh, great. But
Does that mean it is appreciated?
Don't get smart with me, Errol.
I'm a wizard. Don't do this.
Cast
well,
disintegrate.
have you heard of an individual named Jots in the city? We think he's working with Xanathar.
Isn't that sort of like those annoying jean shorts some people wear in summer?
They might have named them after him because he's really annoying and short.
Yeah, he's a swolbold. He's like a kobold, but he's big and burly.
Did Froome put you
No,
on this?
our kobolds are really missing. We're really, really devastated.
Because of a swollbold.
He's just like a kobold, but he's big.
He's more intimidating than he sounds.
He works with the Xanathar, so he's obviously ain't good news.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. The Xanathar has some very strange people working for him.
Can't argue that. I don't suppose you'd be able to tell us where, if you know where any he might be, where they might be taking people.
Well, the Xanathar does have a lot of holds in the actual city. More than I'd like to admit. It's difficult. The sewers underneath of the city are extensive. But we're also built atop a massive underground complex that occasionally intersects the sewers. So we don't like to let people know too much just how much is directly under their feet. But the Xanathar is always spoilt for locations to set up bases. Or, if they might well be in Skullport, perhaps in the Xanathar's lair itself.
I was hoping they ain't gone that far yet.
You never know. If they're in one of these random bases, then it would be quite hard to track them down. But honestly, if they've taken them quite recently and they are a escape risk, they've probably taken them to the Skullport. Lessens the chance of them running away if you take them further away from where they can escape to.
Right.
But for in Skullport, how do we get them out?
Well, there's ways down to Skullport. I actually know of a couple. Also, there's the chance you could always bribe and buy them back, or go down there and rescue them. You are tough adventure-y types. I would recommend to sticking to rescuing them, though, maybe not getting too involved in some of the other things down there. The Xanathar is not a gentleman to mess with.
So, what ways are there to get down there other than the whole fight your way through massive, scary places?
I have ways. There's a couple of secret tunnels, a couple of ways through the sewers, or through water ducts, or, others. I don't really feel the need to divulge them too much here, but I could definitely get you down there.
Thank you. That would be really cool.
That would be
Not
helpful.
something else we need to do today, but if a favour for a favour, maybe.
Well, I
gotta-
was going to say, actually, there is something I wouldn't mind you looking into for me.
Alright, add to list.
It's nothing too pressing, but I'm a little concerned about a friend of mine. There's a member of Force Grey who's been acting strange lately. His name is Maloon Wardragon, and his happy-go-lucky demeanor has soured recently. He's been hanging around the yawning portal more than usual. If you could just keep an eye on him, observe him for a 10-day, then report back to me. See if you can figure out what's going on with him. If he's maybe in debt to somebody or worried about something, or if
Have you asked him?
I mean, I have. We were old friends. We've done some adventuring together, but he says he's fine. But I've noticed a change in him, and I'm concerned.
Alright, well.
We love the yawning portal, so
Yes, I think he has a room there actually these days.
I'm sure we'll be able to keep an eye out, see if there's anything strange going on.
All right, thank you very much. I'd appreciate that. I know you've got a lot on, but if you're in the yawning portal, if you could keep an eye out for him, and maybe just
I'll do.
subtly
got some friends.
Check what he's up to.
Yeah. Can do. We got some friends who can help us as well if we're stuck for time, don't worry.
Excellent. Right, well, that's all I have to ask.
Oh,
Oh, thanks for your help.
okay. Well, thank you.
thank you.
Trouble.
Please don't turn the poles back on until I'm outside.
Turn the what's on?
Oh, I'm very happy using these stairs. I don't want any portals. I think if I ever come back here again, it will be during lunch.
Of course. Does anybody else want to take a portal out of here? I could just...
Yes, please.
Or be walking down the stairs.
She
We'll meet you
reaches
down
over,
there.
opens up a door, and the door opens out onto like a street, and you can see it's like a side street near the marketplace.
Runs out. Thank you.
Oh, it's weird still.
Yeah, it's a little disconcerting. You were up like a tower a minute ago, and now you're just suddenly on the ground. A few minutes later,
Take
Brian
it down.
I mean, they're across town a little bit actually. So you just like you kind of like look for the door to kind of get an idea of where they're going to end up, and then you just run over there.
And a tower, if only we had a parachute.
Yeah, jeez, we get down.
Like a James Bond into the marketplace.
Alright, well. I think that's something we're going to be asking about with Silverhand later. We might be taking a trip to Skullport sometime in the future, but for now, looks like it's on to the jail next. You two ready?
Yeah, so there's the jail. The castle ward is nearby, so you're actually within walking distance of this little criminal, this criminal and his incarceration. And then beyond that, it's the dock ward, where the wizard has been causing some trouble and the like. Yeah, I think that's about it. And yeah, obviously the yawning portal is is down Not quite at the dock ward. It's near the castle, but it's down a bit that direction as well.
Right out.
Hey.
Backstories. What is your private detective name?
It's a bit difficult because of an elf.
Oh,
What's a good, rugged elf name?
There are none.
Steel.
Logo lad.
Pointy McGee. I'm Detective McSteel at your service. I've got something different for me.
Yeah, log lad.
I'll go with Valfrin.
Valfrin. Right. Detective Valfrin? Is it so? Is you say like Detective Valfrin, something Valfrin, or is it just Valfrin?
Yeah, it's Detective Val. For short.
Hey, that's someone else I know. And I will be Detective Snow.
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 Okay, Snow.
From the north. Is it?
from North.
What, North Ward?
Well, I'm
Hey,
from
what's the city
Daggerford,
from
which is in South, but I'm from North originally. Up Luscombe. Luscombe.
Okay, so what's the name of this bloke?
No skin, remember?
What is it?
He has a pretty metal name. I've
Oh, he does, didn't he?
Fenris, like
Stormcastle?
Dick G or something. Yes, that's it. Fenris Storm something.
Stormcastle.
Yeah, Stormcastle.
That's it. Fenris Storm
Badass.
Castle.
Holy shit. I can tell why this
Up
guy's
your
like,
game!
Badass McCool name.
I look forward to meeting him. He's a gnome. I'm Fenris Stormcastle. Although actually, this campaign did teach us that gnomes can be badass. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
there's the alchemist gnomes.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's stolen something.
He's stolen something from a certain lady Greyhound. Yeah, he's scary. And we originally we were hiding in Daggerford because that's
So what you know about Fenris
Yeah.
Stormcastle is while in the city, he has been working as. Let me get the backstory because you would know this. It's been a few weeks since we've played, but not so much for you guys. Fenris, while he was in the city, sorry, there's like a bunch of different things I got to click on to find the information I want. He was. Lord Lions. Fenris retired to work. So while in the city, he joined the Guild of Candlers and Lamplighters. So he was working as a lamplighter at night. But before joining, Fenris Stormcastle was the founder of the Bloodhawk Posse, a gang of horse-riding brigands that to this day harries travellers on the roads of Amberhale. Maybe a bit more information than you actually knew, but I'm sure I could just make you roll a history check and you'd get this.
Alright, so we come from near Amberhale, and
he was doing that, and then he retired at some stage for some reason. You're not sure why. Actually, roll a history check for me, Tom, because
What?
you're well informed. You like your stories about the local
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, Valfrin.
You never really do well on these.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
You would have heard probably of horse raids taking place there over the last couple of years. A lot of highwayman problems, but specifics somewhat escaping.
Alright.
Yeah.
So we've been out there in the wilds trying to track this thing down, and we've had bad luck. Trials gone cold, so we come here to see if we can get anything out of him.
Okay. So how do we get it out of him?
Well, could lie to his face and say that if you give us some information, we might be able to get some time off your sentence. And you might be able to go about your life as a candle maker very nicely. And then we could also say potentially, if you don't tell us, that some nasty people may come along and ask you a bit more severely.
2 good options.
Yeah.
If both of us fail, there's always magic.
Yeah, I could definitely suggest to him to tell us. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's fair. Alright then.
Alright. Shall we take a quick break to refill on coffee before we start trying to talk to people? Real life. Continued.
Yep.
And yeah, when you come back, we can... So is it just you two going to be heading in?
Yeah, and they're going to keep an eye on the outside.
We just keep an eye out.
Can you message people, Errol?
No.
No, alright. I can't remember. Can somebody message people?
If Errol can't do it and you can't do it, I don't think anyone will be able to.
I got flashy farts, that's about it.
I've got a paper bird. You could take that with you, and if things go wrong, send a paper bird to go help.
I mean, there's always the warning of thunderwave.
Yeah.
I can cause a gust of wind.
Or there's always wild magic.
But what if you just turn into a potted plant? We won't know.
In the sound of potted pants magic.
Yeah.
Was anyone here for the game with Mert where my wild magic finally did the greatest of wild magics, which is summoned a unicorn?
Yes!
No.
No way.
Adam was like, what? Is there a unicorn in the thing? And I'm like, no. It's like it's a 2 in 100 chance of this happening. I didn't have it prepped. I was like, all right, cool. And then he was like, what does it do? And I'm like, just whatever a unicorn would do. And he finally just translated that to being, it's a horny horse. And sexually harassed Killian. It rubbed its horn all over Killian and healed him. And
kept us alive.
Let me touch you with my horn, Killian.
I will bring you to your phone.
And its back legs didn't seem to work or something because it was like butt scooched its way everywhere.
I don't want to know.
The token he found for it was a picture of a horse dragging its butt. It was just...
So yeah, that's how we've got to look forward to in this conversation.